Good morning or afternoon. Welcome to physics. We finally got into our first unit, and we're going to talk about the chapter challenge. Okay, the learning intentions that you're learning to understand what that is. Okay, so the scenario and chapter challenge. Are vehicles safe? How could they be safer, and how do you build a better safety system? Okay, so let's talk about vehicles being safe or not. Here we have a chart, and it shows that there's 43,000 deaths per year from cars. That's one person every 12 minutes. It's kind of a sobering idea. I mean, if you divide it up across the entire year, that means by the end of the period you're currently in, there's going to be 7 to 8 more people dead just here in the US. However, if we look here at our chart, you see the blue is from earlier in the country's history, about over a century ago. In the green, you can see how this changes. Okay. Now, since 1943, deaths based on population have dropped from 30 per 100,000 people to 14, meaning that for every 100,000 Americans, 30 died at the worst. That's this blue line. Okay. But we've gotten down to about 14 since then. So cut it basically in half, even though there's a lot more people than there used to be. So, what's our chapter challenge? How do we make vehicles safer? Right? How can we use what we understand about the science when we learn it to make a car safer for us to be in? How can we improve what exists? Better, safety devices and systems inside of our cars. And then kind of look at the question, why haven't we done this, right? Someone dying is a terrible thing, so why are we not doing more, if we can, to make them safer? And what science are you going to need to understand what causes people to get hurt in these crashes and to make a solution? So, when we think about how to make a better safety system, you'll be picking a vehicle. Car is pretty obvious, but you could pick a bike or a skateboard or anything really, any means of conveyance, to use fancy words. And we're going to learn the science behind collisions and safety so you can really understand what we need to be aware of, what we're dealing with. And then you're going to design a new or improved safety system for the vehicle. You're going to add something to it that we could potentially add, or you're going to take something that exists and make it better in some way. Then we're going to prototype. And prototype's a fancy word for we're going to make a little version that kind of shows the idea, even if you're not using like all the things you would normally use. So, for example, instead of you designing and making an airbag, especially a miniature one, that might cost you hundreds or thousands of dollars and take dozens of hours to create because it's really complicated to do a real airbag like in a car. You'll put a balloon in there, maybe, right? Like the already deployed airbag. But you'll create a prototype for an egg of the safety systems that you're proposing, and you'll make a report that will show other people your safety system idea and how it's scientifically valid, why the science shows that what you're doing makes sense, and if someone wanted to spend money on it, they could do so and it would get somewhere. I believe that's it for today. Hope you have a great rest of your day.